Alyona, so great to have you on the podcast.
Hi, Jared. Nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
You are, as I was telling you before we started recording, everywhere. Your team and you do an excellent job of branding. You're making this like financial, like fintech space fun and what you're doing. The website is cool. Like if everyone else is wearing suits, you're wearing like the leather jacket and like are the cool company in the space. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's like just like my personal intention because I always saw finance and how all people saying that finance is something boring. And I was like, no, please stop. It's so fun. How you don't understand that? So it was like just the goal and mission, like to make it fun for everyone else. So yeah, and happy to hear that you all also see that from our website that actually it actually means that we do what we planned.
I mean, just the first time I ever came across you was it was a promoted post that you guys had going of like how you met your co-founder and your co-founder
Yeah.
had like these I don't know if it was real or if it was one of those like but like was it like a tattoo on like the forehead or something or like their neck?
Yeah.
Like and
It
I was
it was not real to do,
okay.
but it was I think somewhere of our we had this time with team and we decided okay we will do some financial tattoos so just like for one day and yeah it was I think ROI or something about EBITDA. I already don't remember.
Yeah, I just remember seeing it in my feed and I'm like I've never they have fun. Like they're having fun with what they're doing. And then I read something someone put up about like your content structure and like how you write content, right? You put out several posts a week. Both like there's a lot of transparency in what you're doing. There's also showcasing like, hey, this is what worked. I love that. Like I love that you do that. Anyway, I'll stop fanning for a second and let you, tell us more for those that haven't gone down the rabbit hole that I went in learning about you. Tell them a little bit about you and why you wanted to start this company in the first place, and then give us kind of that fuel finance overview.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I have financial background. Before building Fuel Finance, I used to be an auditor at PwC. I also used to be a financial analysis person, financial analytic, and I also used to be fractional C4 for startups. So I built by my own dozens of financial systems from scratch. So that was the reason why I decided, okay, there should be some smart way to do that things because what I learned from Big Four that every hour that you spend matters. And actually I decided, okay, I can't spend so many hours on that things. And I started to find some better ways actually to build the product. And that's how I met my co-founder because one of my friends introduced me to Yaroslav, and he was his company PadCube, where he was CEO at that period of time. So they needed some financial system, and I just proposed to use my system as an MVP. So I didn't promise anything, but I like let's try, maybe it will work. And they became profitable in 5 months, and it was huge result because they have hardware products. So it's like very hard. I think all finance person understand that that finance for hardware products is the most complicated. And yeah, after that, Yaroslav decided to join me as a co-founder. We saw actually that many companies need this, and many companies need to fix their issues with easier financial management. And we decided to build Fuel Finance. And now at Fuel Finance, we are focusing on small, medium businesses and I think that our unique point, so we have the system which automates all this financial planning, reports, benchmarks, but I think it's mostly about data-driven decisions because we collect data from CRM system, from HubSpot, from Salesforce, so we can like explain you what marketing budgets you have, what has the highest return on investment or for example where you should stop to spend your money, and this is something which we see the most insightful, and this is mostly about data driven approach, but we also provide, this is not usual case, but we provide in a subscription support of a real human with financial background. You can think about this person like financial planning and analysis manager. So we don't bill you per hour or something like that because I literally hate this model, billing per hour. So that's something unique about Fuel Finance, that we combine two things together. So we have systems and we can work with CFOs, but we also work with founders and we help them to understand all the things, not just give them the system. We onboard them, we provide them human touch. And I think that's something unique about Fuel.
Yeah, I think that's the thing a lot of softwares out there miss is you try to just fully automate everything, but there's still that human component that is so necessary. And it's difficult though. Like that is not an easy thing for you to be able to implement because obviously when you scale and bring on all these companies, that's the one area of the business that you know can't fully like you have to spend a little bit more time on it, right? Because now you have to find people that are going to fit with the culture and what you're doing and match up. But without it, you're in kind of a limbo land. So I really like that you offer that. At my last company, that was one of the things that we were on the verifying and licensing healthcare professionals across all 50 states. And we always had that. Basically, we were a tech enabled service where we'd have the software, you could store everything, but we always saw that thing. You need the person still to, help with onboarding and for those maybe where software can pretty much do most of the work now, but without that human touch, you're kind of not in the best space. So, I would love to hear though, from your point of view, without giving away what people are doing right or wrong, I guess fully. But what are some of the areas that you see a lot of companies slip up on when it comes to their financials?
I think the biggest maybe issue and point for all companies that I see, it's mostly about setting up first financial system and doing it right. Because I see that many founders, they just don't know what they need to have in their financial system. So for example, it's not only about financial system. I think it's always about building financial processes from scratch inside the team. So for example, who's responsible for what? So how you update your financial plans. I don't know how like head of salesperson or head of marketing person for what they're responsible, how they can plan budgets. And there are like many things around that I think a little bit messy because everyone knows that you need to have this, this, and this every week or every month. But how to go to that point from zero to like, and all your math and all your data sources, and how to educate people in your team to work with finance, educate them how to read these numbers so they can understand what impact they do, I don't know, on profitability, on runway, or whatever. So this is something I think the most complicated for many founders, and that's why I think human touch plays this huge role because you can have someone who can do that things for your team and for your team members. So upgrade your team on the next level, so you will be like much more financial literate. And what I see the biggest impact when founders they ask, okay, what is the biggest impact will be on our profitability from all the things that we have in our finance? So I definitely think that this is how your executive team understands your financials. So if you're transparent about your financials, if they definitely understand, okay, we will spend this budget or that budget that will impact our revenue or our profitability in that way. So you have the whole executive team with CFO background, so they all can think like on what to be focused. So I think that's thing that impacts the most results. And setting up is the most complicated, I think, for all founders and understand how to build all these financial processes, starting like from accounting, from tax reports, good tax reports, and no problems with that. And after that, already to higher level like of strategic finance. And going through this way, I think it's very complicated.
What is a common thing that I mean, you do such a great job at marketing, but like if you had to pick something that many people out there don't know about fuel finance, but you wish they did know, what would that thing be potentially?
I think what they don't know, I think most of people actually don't know that we have this human support. I don't know, but many people surprised that we have that. So they literally ask, you have a real human? We're like, yes, we have a real human. You have Slack chat calls, Loom videos from this person with explanations, and this person can even join your exec call. And they're like, oh, that's a surprise.
I love. I love it. You have a real human, because now we're always like, now, because I always see the term now like AI human and things like that now
Yeah.
too. So it's like now we're shocked when it's a real person. Um,
Luxury.
yeah, like wow, you're right. Luxury. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Because it is nice to have that person. It, now, when you look out, what's you probably receive a bunch of feedback. This is a question I love asking founders. What do you how do you decide what gets added to roadmap and what gets shelved based on feedback?
That's a good point. We have our system of prioritization, and actually, another founder was also surprised about that. We have the system how we evaluate different projects, what input we should do to, for example, release this feature or this part, and what output we will have on the final end. And this is like very easy exercise on one hand. So we have the list of all ideas, I don't know, from customers, from customer success managers, from sales team, what should be done in our product. Evaluate so how much time, how many resources we need to invest in that in dollar equivalent. And after that, we evaluate. So we try to make assumptions. Okay, we will do that on what metric will have an impact. So on churn rate, like or retention or whatever, or new revenue generation part. And we try to make this approximation in dollar equivalent. And after that, we evaluate in a very financial way return on investment. Where is the highest return on investment? And in that way, we actually prioritize what features we will deliver as the first, as the second, and after that.
Now, when you look out over the next 5 years or so, what do you think this space will look like? What's I know it's hard to put a crystal ball in front of you and predict the future, right? But like there's certain things I'm sure that you believe are going to happen in this space. Would love to hear that. And then are there any regulations? Are there any trends or news that you're staying on top of along the way that you think could impact that future? So kind of two parts there.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I think mm, that so for now, like how you see current market with financial planning and analysis solutions. So you see very basic way like integrations, dashboards, reports. Okay, even like AI CF4 and chatbots with AI CF4 or whatever. But my recent research that I did, I think that the future will be completely another interface. So I believe in different financial agents that you will have. So it will be no dashboards or something like that. It will be just different functions that you can just press the button and get the functions. For example, agent who creates planning, agents who can do reconciliation. So agent who can like send invoices or whatever. So you have definitely the list of all these agents. And I think this is like, first of all, will be very convenient for CFOs because you don't need to hire like so many people in your financial team. So you have like 10 agents or 20 agents and they become smarter and smarter. So I think in finance it was already earlier. So it's like RPAs, this robotic process automation, but it was like more on the primitive level, not so high as we now can do that with AI part. But I definitely see that this will be future, and there will be no such like things that we see now in FP&A, like dashboards or whatever. So this is a significant change. But when we talk about maybe not regulations, but I definitely always think about like what is going on with macroeconomics in the world and whatever. So I think that we definitely will see some democratization of financial services and overall like of different functions in finance. And also think about all the time, I think, as all financial people, about potential next economical crisis. So that's always about this type. And in that case, I think, okay, if it happened, so what will be with finance? So if it can be like higher demand on that, or on another way, like lower demand on that. So what will be next? So I always think about such different scenarios. And I believe it can happen. So maybe this year or next. And yeah, I think that it will impact actually the market. And I think that even like FP&A solutions can be much more popular because finance usually becomes like number one priority. And we see that already, like being profitable, spend less money and all the things. So I think it can be something that can impact can impact many things. And even like FP&A solutions can drop down their pricing. It's also possible.
Despite anything that happens in the space, though, I think you're shielded from a lot of like even the negatives because your your product works across various industries. Which industries are you seeing the most use right now, that are leveraging the platform?
We are focusing on small, medium businesses. We have many customers who provide professional services like marketing, sales agencies, legal agencies, any type of service. And we also have SaaS or tech-enabled services. So these are, I think, top two that we have now. And but I think what I see from the market, so there are like many other business models, not so popular as startups or SaaS businesses that actually need help. And I see the competition is much smaller there. So it can be like some production of hardware products or whatever, or e-commerce like companies. They always have struggles with finance and managing working capital and all the things. So that I see can be other potential companies that need help or franchise companies. Another great example, I think.
What drives you every single day to build this company? Um, and is it the same thing driving you that when you started the company versus now?
Yes, it's the same thing. So
Okay.
it's actually like not only about making finance fun, but because I was on C4 side and I saw so many businesses that actually they they just came bankrupt or they did such high cost mistakes in their finance, so they needed to fire people, I don't know, close their business, and it always was very painful when I saw that. And I think that the key goal that I had when I started Fuel Finance, the idea not just like bring fun about about finance overall, but actually bring the knowledge how you can build your business smarter and you can avoid these financial mistakes and you can grow as a business. You can like, I don't know, have much higher profits. You actually can impact GDP in the whole world. So that's something that I see as a core mission. And when I think that we help like hundreds of companies, and this is something that actually can motivate me the most. When I understand that we help someone to be much more profitable and generate like more money, so this is something that I am the most proud of all the time to see, and I think that's the best part.
Last question for you before we wrap up here. What's something that you can laugh about now, but when it happened, you wanted to cry?
Oh my gosh.
And you can only pick one thing because that everyone's always like, only one. Like,
Amlivani. There are so many like that. I think it was like about our website. I remember that thing when we did our first design of our website, and it actually took us two times more time than we expected because we hired not the right designer and he like did so awful job and it was completely not about us and it was so painful. It was like, no, we need to hire another person now and find another designer who can do that. And it was so painful at that period of time. Now I think, and already like after years of running business, I like, okay, it was not even the biggest problem after everything. So yeah,
but
maybe.
in the moment, it seemed like the end of the world, right?
Yes,
That's
already now it seems like not the biggest problem.
I love it. Um, Alyona, last question for you. Sorry, I lied. This is the last question. Just what's next
Okay.
for Fuel Finance, moving forward?
I think the next one always about having more happy customers. So I have my key goal to have thousands of happy customers, and I think this is the next big goal for us. And with thousand companies, I think the impact that we do on GDP it will be already near our target. So be something that we will be very proud of.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Look forward to continuing the conversation and hopefully some future content. But thanks so much and wishing you all the best of
Thank,
luck.
thank you, Jared.